Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show, where I try to bring you new providers, new technologies, and introduce you to the best professionals in the industry, all so you can make informed decisions. Today, I'd like to welcome a very good friend, an old friend of mine, my old boss, Brian Johnson. Brian is a highly accomplished serial entrepreneur leading multiple SMS and CPaaS startups to successful acquisitions and public offerings. These include Mblocks, Nexmo, Twilio, TalkBox, and Boku. Prior to a life in the SMS space, Brian and I worked together with a CLEC startup back in 1998, I think it was. Brian has spent the last 4 years focused on how mobile operator signals can be harnessed to simultaneously drive down verification costs, improve client experience, and improve security. In this endeavor, he has implemented identity and verification services at the IRS, Social Security Administration, PayPal, and at leading banks, wallets, and e-commerce players around the globe. Brian, welcome to the Top Gun Show.
Thanks, Steve. It's good to be here. Before we begin, I did want to say a little bit that kind of throughout my career, I've built teams and I've joined teams. But 24 years ago, I joined your team at ATG. And frankly, still to this day, that is the best group of people that I've ever worked with. Their hearts and their minds were just absolutely amazing. And, just a great experience dealing with kind of the character and capabilities of the team that you put together there. Many of them are lifelong friends from our short time there in Santa Rosa.
Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, I feel the same way. That was my foray into telecom, doing that CLEC startup, and I think we raised an obscene $600 million or so and burned through it all in 4 years. But yeah, I mean, that was the best of times, man. There were some great people, and the chemistry of that team, the results of that team and stuff. It was fun for sure, and it was an honor having you as my boss. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Cinch. We talk about PIN codes and stuff. I get PIN codes delivered on my phone, SMS all the time. What's the purpose, and what are those companies that send those things trying to accomplish?
Yeah, companies need a unique identifier for their customers, and they often use a person's mobile phone number as that identifier, especially apps. And when sending out that PIN code, and having somebody, subsequently, put that PIN code in, it verifies that they're in possession of that phone number, the phone number that they're, going to use to identify themselves. And of course, SMS is used because it's just globally pervasive, in certain generations and certain geographies. Email is just not the way to deliver a PIN code. SMS is the way to do that. It's cheap, easy, and fast, and it just works on every phone.
Yeah, I mean, homeless people have phones. Everybody's got the phones now, so crazy. Well, I know there's security people that don't like them. What's going on in this space to improve the security and the customer experience?
Yeah, there are security individuals who, just don't like sensitive information being sent over an SMS. And that includes that PIN code, for access to their account. And frankly, the apprehension is well-founded. People can be talked out of their PIN codes, right? So, if I had stolen your credentials, at a bank, I would then, try and log on. And the only thing stopping me is waiting for that PIN code. So I would call you and say, hey, this is the ABC Bank. Something's gone wrong with your account. I need to verify you. I'm going to send you a code. Can you read it to me? And of course, the code would come and say, whatever you do, don't give this code to anybody. And people go right to that code and just read it to folks. And so this kind of social engineering is occurring, all over. And so it makes that SMS PIN code delivery a little bit vulnerable. But the good news is the mobile operators, in conjunction, kind of with companies like Cinch, had devised better technologies than SMS, and one we're really proud of, something called data verification. And really, the mobile operator in the background tells us the phone number of the person who just entered that session. So if somebody's signing up for your service on an app, they say, hey, the phone number is this. So if the person puts that phone number in and it matches what the mobile operator says it's supposed to be, then of course we let them in without having to put in that SMS and without having to wait for that SMS and all those things. So better security, better customer experience are available. And so that's, good news for everybody. And these are our global offerings that we have that work really well.
That's great. Great answer, man. I love that. Good to know. Good to know good stuff's coming. Well, how does all this fit into a channel partner's portfolio?
Yeah, that's a great question. Through the acquisition of Intelliquent, Cinch really inherited an amazing kind of channel team. And we think that the verification platform that we have is uniquely set up for success in that channel space. So if someone has a telecom relationship with a company today, they most likely have an excellent avenue to present this verification solution, right? Which has the traditional SMS delivery that people are very familiar with, but it also has these new, better, secure, better customer experience technologies. So they can really kind of deliver real value to companies that know. And these are new things, so they're really interesting and can help organizations that are trying to get off of SMS PIN codes because of security reasons. So it allows companies to offer this kind of best-in-class turnkey platform. So anyone that's kind of not in the SMS space today, maybe slightly in the SMS space, we'd love to sit down and discuss this verification platform. Again, it's just a turnkey approach, and it changes how a channel partner can go to market in this arena in a new and interesting way.
Love it. Love it. Well, hey, Brian, I know you've been following me for a quarter of a century, and I know you're a big fan of the Top Gun show, and I know there are millions and millions of people watching you right now. Why don't you tell the viewers a fun little known fact about yourself?
A fun little known fact about myself, huh? Well, I'm a kind of wildlife adventure guy. So, I've walked amongst the grizzlies, while they were feeding in Alaska. I've done great white shark diving in Africa. I've floated down a river in Canada once where all the salmon were going the other way, where you literally had to push, big ugly fish out of the way. So next, I think I'm going to Churchill to see the polar bears. So I love to kind of be where the big dangerous animals are.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea about that. Who's that guy that takes famous people on adventures? Brett Grizzly or somebody?
Bear.
Bear Grizzly. So yeah, I mean he should go with you instead of you going with him.
Right. I can take
That's
a few of these, but so that's
that.
the only thing that people probably don't know about me is I'm slightly crazy. So there you go.
Well, yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Well, Brian, hey man, it's so good to have you on the Top Gun show. It's amazing how small this industry is, and we've come full circle in a quarter of a century. But I gotta say, you don't look any different. You have the same look, the same smile. One of the brightest guys in the industry I've ever met. It's an honor to have you on the show today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Steve. And like I said, it's good to see you. And now that you're back in the Bay Area, we'll definitely have to get together sometime soon.
I would love that. I would love that. All right, man. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Mhm.